Azure virtual desktop capabilities, Azure virtual desktop features, Azure virtual desktop versus Windows 365, and then the demo. Anyone trying to speak? If you're not trying to speak, then you can go on mute, please. So before jumping into what is remote working, wanted to discuss a little bit IT today. So information technology today, the way anywhere I turn, it's an IT work happening. Think from think from a um, any barista or a coffee joint. You go there, they are inputting everything, your costing, your whatever you're buying, the coffee, that is going in a form of IT to a server recording that purchase, recording that um, amount they received. So there are two things happening in the behind. We never thought about it, right? Before we used to go cafe coffee day, who thought that this is a big IT servers running those machines and recording all the data, right? Now think about it. Anywhere you go, ticketing system, your metro ticketing system, or even you swap the credit card with the Uber, um, then that's all connected to your IT. So we are surrounded by IT. Now, situation because of COVID has switched more than a year. We have switched in the technology that, okay, now where are we heading from here? Um, all companies switch rapidly, big companies switch rapidly, small companies, some of them close down, some of them switch that, okay, now we're going to be in remote working model where we need a laptop for everybody. Probably earlier we were sharing the desktop that, okay, you come in the morning shift, you come in the afternoon shift, you share same desktop. Now you don't come, you're staying home. So expense added, one thing. Um, um, I can hear myself, so please go on mute. Um, that's where we IT exists now, remote working. Do we have the infrastructure at home or not? I mean, maybe I'm living in a one room home where um, I sleep, I eat, I cook, and I work also. So and if I'm a family, even if I have a small kid or my wife, it might be tough for me to work around that. So I have to find a space within my home where I can be in a quiet space, a good headset to be, not making a noise when we have the customer, but it's not always avoidable. We are living in that culture. We are accepting it. It used to annoy us earlier. Oh, somebody's talking, somebody's dog barking, something. But now we are accepting all those things, saying that this is normal life, as if we are walking. That's our culture is moving towards. That's how we're going to be working, right? Now, this brings some security concerns too, because if you're very concerned about your data and you're an organization, probably you definitely want to be concerned if my company's data is safe, secure, or anyone using it, any of my employee using it. We are not only using it for a you know any organization has a safe or secure data. Think about a media company, a newspaper company. They want to publish their news first, so they don't want to let this data leak, right? So they don't want you to carry that new data which you're working on. And similarly, if you have the financial earning from cafe coffee day, definitely you don't want to release that data to public, that okay, how much cafe coffee day earned today. So that goes to the comparison that other competitor takes advantage somehow, and that data is really important for everyone. So even railways data, you might see, oh, railways made this much money. Okay, that's a lot, right? So no one wants to share that data. They all want to protect it. So that's a security concern comes when it goes out of office working culture. You are at the beach, you are somewhere, you're not caring about devices. You are very free person. You believe in the world, you believe in everybody, that no one is a thief here, right? So in which culture we think that there could be a day, but not today. So people, you have to be careful about your device. You lost a device, you never had a password, everything is revealed. So you have to be safe and secure. That's a security biggest concern today. Um, so what is remote working? It is very simple. Everyone knows, I think. Uh, Remote working is connecting services remotely, connecting services from another network, which may be not secure, connecting services using VPN, connecting to cloud services, connecting from home, coffee, beach, friend's home, girlfriend's home, working from another office, working from office when servers are in data center. Can be. Uh, you were working in an office, but your servers were not there. So what was that? That was also remote working. But you all were sitting in one big hall and just working from there. That's still considered a remote working in the technical term. While working while traveling, oh yeah, I have handled some calls or work while in the plane or while in the travel. Maybe in the plane I just did the PPT, not the remote session, but while in the train I did some remote sessions too. But if I get the right internet, that has been challenging. Um, Working on an emergency outage. I don't know where you are. You're traveling with car, with your laptop, your Wi-Fi, uh, USB, and your phone. Three things you carry from office and you carry wherever you go. You go to buy, a paratha tea at Molchand in Delhi, or you go to buy a nice biryani in Hyderabad, or you go to Mumbai and eat the bada as some food. If you are on call on that day, you're carrying with everything. You may never know when you need it. You go back in your car, close the door, turn on your laptop, plug in your USB, start working. Your office started. That's emergency outage. You have to work. That's remote working. Why remote working necessary? Right. Why do I want to work? I want to relax. It's my weekday. I'm at home. I should be relaxing. No, remote working is required because you have to work to earn living. Definitely can't work on the server, so you have to work on the desktop workstation. Can't be on the same office. Sometimes it's a security concern that, okay, these are the high CPU, high power machines. You cannot be working next to them. These requires a lot of high AC. If you ever been to any data center, you might see that you will be shivering if you go in the half t-shirt and half pant, for sure. And even if you go in a jacket, you might feel that you want to come out ASAP because it's still so cold, right? So definitely you cannot work next to a server and in the same office. So servers are located in data center. Now servers are located in the cloud. So that's sort of virtualization twist, which came maybe 15 years back or so. That's when the virtualization became very popular, and it's like now we want virtualization. Why? We can drop the server anywhere. We buy a high big-end machine and create multiple servers inside that. That was the time. That's where we think that, okay, that's how we started cloud long back. In today we have completed Office 365 10 year, but just think about it. Was there any cloud before that? Yes, we used to call that hosted services. Now, then somebody changed the name. Who is somebody? I don't know, but that was the twist. That's just oh now cloud. I want to be the cloud architect, right? Everyone wants to be that. Okay, no servers but cloud these clouds not going to rain, but remote working is using basically the remote servers. And now in today's era, we need that. Any cause can be supporting that. Why remote working required? You have a sick family. I mean, COVID is one big reason. 24 by 7 support required. Home has a repair or something. Um, I mean, COVID or lockdown, as just said, that's last thing which came. But bigger thing is availability of the remote working is the main thing. Now every organization jump into that, and that's where the main thing which we are talking is Azure Virtual Desktops coming and playing the role. So let's move on to the Azure Virtual Desktop features. Um, it can support BitLocker encrypted disks, redirection to OneDrive, device management policies, Windows Defender, Windows Defender and Windows Defender endpoint security. So there are two things. Always remember that. Block local computer access. That's very important. Think about it. Uh, you are sitting and you were doing all good, right? Your friend came and he had some USB from somewhere and he wanted to see what data he got from his friend. He said, "Hey, I'm using your USB. Okay, okay, use it. Okay, I'm just it's my brother kind of a thing." So he comes and he does everything and he just plugged in the USB. It had the virus gone, all data captured, and he left, and virus was left there, and your data is locked, gone. So that's very important. Block local USB access. That's possible with Azure Virtual Desktop. Definitely, that's what I mean. That local computer access. Don't share that. Um, Block drives redirection. So don't redirect your local C drive, D drive to the Azure WE virtual desktop. Fast expandable. This is one thing which I love it. Any day I want to expand my virtual desktop, virtual machines for those, I can just go add one more and it'll be very fast. Add one more virtual desktop. I don't have to configure everything which I used to configure for remote desktop web client, multiple servers, a gateway, remote desktop gateway, a network security server, all that could be done in 2, 3 servers, but also if you're managing a big infrastructure, you need a lot of servers so that they can handle load. Now that all is gone. Just configure Azure Virtual Desktop configuration one time, and then you can use it for any number of desktops. You don't have to keep configuring a lot of things there. Limit the network access. Now, this is another point to consider. Think about it. As an organization, CIO, or IT director, IT manager, think about it. Network utilization, what you used to pay or what you pay for internet access today, you just have to pay for one connection to Azure Virtual Desktop. Then after that, anything which you are using inside Azure Virtual Desktop is not using your internet, it is using Azure's internet. So any services which are available from Office 365, they will work very fast. They will use local network. Sometimes it can be using the same data center where your virtual desktop is located. So that is very big, very critical point as well. Um, Ease of destructions. Your virtual desktop is corrupt, not working, got a virus, something else is broken, destroyed, done. Next, add a new virtual desktop. Fast, quick, gone. Move on. Next one. Okay, so why will I destroy AVD? Right? Anyone has answer? Please drop a note in the chat. Why will I destroy AVD? I just said, I think. Moving on, Azure Virtual Desktop capabilities, pooled or personal. Pooled, what is pooled and personal? That's maybe you might be thinking, is it a swimming pool or is it a snooker pool, right? So pooled is a Azure Virtual Desktop shared mode, which is like I'm saying that I'm going to build a virtual machine of 32 GB memory and I'm going to share that with 20 users, right? That's pooled because my lightweight users don't need that. Probably you guys are IT guys, you need a heavy machine. Not everyone in your organization needs those heavy 8 GB or 16 GB machines. Their utilization might be just 2 gig or 1 gig. They just have to use Office application, Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and record their attendance. And then they have to go, if they're in the manufacturing industry, they have to manufacture the scooter, tire, car, whatever they're manufacturing, or they're in the water plant, they have to go and purify the water and fill in the bottles. That's their primary job, primary business. They don't have to use computer, maybe not even every day. They just come in the evening and see if their boss send an email or something, right? So those kind of users can be excellent for pooled WVDs, to pooled Azure virtual desktops, AVDs. And there could be some personal AVD users who will be uh, like your IT guys may need a heavy virtual desktop, but it's not really restricting that you cannot use pool WVDs. You have to make sure to deploy the right resources in that case. Um, highly, I recommend highly secure solution. Uh, itself, because it does not use your remote desktop protocol. It's not using 3389, it's using 443 protocol. So with the certificate, it's much secure logging in using 443. And moreover, you can control it using Intune, and uh, it's a virtual desktop interface. So it makes it much secure with Intune. It can push some policies, apply different levels of restrictions. Then centralized data management. That's very important because where is my data going, right? That's a question. So when we configure it, we would like to keep the data in one disk. So that's where my disk is already a separate disk where I'm keeping the data. Either I keep a profile there, or I keep my actual files data. That's gonna be just right there, right? Um, I can configure all that. So moving on, Office 365 full suite can be accessed from Azure Virtual Desktop. Either it's Exchange, Mailbox, SharePoint, OneDrive, Microsoft Teams. Other restrictions can be also applied from, if you have Azure deployment, multiple servers deployed in Azure, you can only give the access from the same network to access those servers. You don't have to give a separate VPN, public IP for those servers. Today I log into a domain controller using my WVD or Azure VD, and I don't have to find another way to log into that server. So log into Azure Virtual Desktop and then log into your servers. That easy, and it's a local network. No extra cost for accessing those servers. 100% remote workforce ready. You want to work, it's just so easy, secure, simple. Go ahead, log in from anywhere, which means not only the location I'm saying log in from your probably iPhone or another phone which supports a remote desktop app. You know, remote login from iPad. Probably you can log in from Google also. And not try the Google Chromes, but just saying that app has to work. If the app works, you can log in. We'll see in the demo. Um, integrated IAM, AAD. IAM is Identity and Access Management. Everything can integrate. Azure AD with single sign-on can be implemented. SAML authentication can be implemented. Multi-factor authentication can be implemented. BitLocker, DLP policy, Azure Information Protection, all that can be implemented. I would say it's free from ransomware. That's a big deal for any organization. Free from ransomware attack, free from theft. You were You were traveling everywhere as an most available person on the earth. You went to eat somewhere, you went to eat pani puri, you went to eat something else, and uh, you left your laptop in the car. Some guy who had no bad intention broke the car glass, stole your laptop. Laptop is theft, gone. Azure Virtual Desktop. How will how will you steal it? No way. Um, we can also deploy um, double key encryption and use it in Azure Virtual Desktop. We can the new option which came, I think, few months back, I think in April around that time, is Msix packaging option came in Azure Virtual Desktop. That added a lot of advantages. We'll see in the next slide, and we'll talk about it a little bit. We can also use phone system, conferencing, domestic calling plan, international calling plan. You can also call from anywhere. Probably India doesn't have that voice over IP, so I'm not sure if you can call from Teams to a normal phone. But in US and many countries, you can. So it might be supporting some company which might be using it. You will see that you can use Azure Virtual Desktop for that same capability which you have on your laptop. It's not uh, lower than your laptop. It's even better than your laptop. Last but not the least is multi-tenant integration. So you may have Office 365 with Azure Virtual Desktop, but you can also use the other one which has Mailbox, which has SharePoint, which has your OneDrive. So you can segregate the data separate if you need to. That option is available. That's integration works very well as well. Please go and mute if you're not talking. If you have a question, yeah, I can hold and pause. Okay. If you don't have a question, then I have a question. All right. So why Microsoft changed, I'm sorry, why Microsoft changed WVD to AVD? Anyone? It used to be called Windows Virtual Desktop. Now Microsoft called it Azure Virtual Desktop. If you don't know, we'll see in the next slide. If you're new, that's great. Um, Here we go. So Azure Virtual Desktop versus Windows 365. Microsoft changed it so that we can call Windows 365 as Windows 365. And then they can differentiate it with Azure Virtual Desktop. Otherwise, it sounds like Windows Virtual Desktop, Windows 365, Windows Virtual Desktop. What is the difference? What is look sounds same? Which is in a way it's very close. Azure Virtual Desktop supports Windows 10, Windows 11, I think Windows 7 as well. We'll see in the next licensing and OS slide as well. Um, Most important here, Azure Virtual Desktop supports multi-session desktops and personalized desktops. So now here's the comparison coming. On the left, Azure Virtual Desktop. On the right, Windows 365. Windows 10 and 11 support in both. Um, Azure Virtual Desktop only, supports both personalized and pooled. We talked about pooled. Pooled is multi-session desktop. But on the other hand, Windows 365 is dedicated for one person. It's only personalized desktop, right? It's not the pre-configured application. You have to deploy the application separately. Then remote app streaming possible using Azure Virtual Desktop. You don't need a desktop. You can use just a remote applications only. You don't want to use a desktop. No need. If you don't need, you can just browse to the browser and just use the applications or use the app and only use the applications, not the um, desktop. Msix packaging is available with Azure Virtual Desktop, not with Windows 365. Um, Azure Virtual Desktop is fully controlled, whereas Windows 65 is completely SaaS solution. Just think about how Exchange Online is. You don't have access to the Exchange server, whereas in Azure Virtual Desktop, you have access to that Exchange server. You have access to the virtual machine. Windows 365 is um, probably secure, personalized app. It's already configured. You see that you cannot just go and configure it. So it is already configured and ready. It is simple. On the Azure Virtual Desktop is more manageable, full control of deployment. You can also integrate with Citrix and VMware if you don't like the Microsoft's remote connection suite. Um, in Windows 65, no customization possible, or very limited possible, limited management possible, no MSIX packaging possible. And most important, probably Windows 365 is kind of a ready, priced. You cannot say, oh, give me this and add my, it'll increase my costing, or take away from this and it'll reduce my costing, something like that. So um, that's flexibility is available in Azure Virtual Desktop. Uh, Windows 365 is not that flexible. Moving on, next question. What is MSIX packaging? Does anyone know? All right, if don't know, that's fine. I'm addressing in the next slide. MSIX packaging is it allows software deployment in extended disk. It is the simplest and easiest definition of explanation. You deploy the software in a separate disk, then virtual desktop. You're not deploying software on the virtual desktop's operating system disk. That's simple. And then you attach it, then you give the permission. So you can, this allows you different software for different team. You don't have, everyone doesn't have to have the same software if you are using one virtual desktop. This is the biggest advantage. Now you can host different software users in one virtual desktop, in one Azure virtual desktop using MSIX packaging. Um, Create once and use unlimited time, right? Um, for example, if you have um, a SQL admin and he wants to use SQL Studio in Azure Virtual Desktop, right? Um, so that you can create a package just for that SQL admin, and rest of the users will not get SQL Studio. Rest of users can use regular applications like Adobe or Office. So the other users will be restricted from using a heavy application, which is probably SQL, but not everybody will use that. So maybe AutoCAD might be another example. It will be used by graphic designers, not everybody. So that's possible. And then I said create once and use unlimited, which means I'm saying you create a disk. So it's basically a VHD disk, which you're creating using MSIX packaging. And you can attach a disk to different multiple deployments you might be doing, or you do it for today for one group, and second day you do the same similar deployment for another group with some different limitations, some different sizing. You can still attach the same disk which you created or deployed, the bunch of software, 10, 20, 30 softwares you have to deploy. You don't have to deploy again and again. You deployed once and done. Your disks are ready. You just have to attach to that group and they have the access. How fast, how easy, how convenient. Um, if you have to deploy any update, deploy in that other copy of the disk, replace the disk, boom, gone, done. Uninterrupted deployment. And again, it's a secure management. Your disk has some issue, destroy it, create another one, secure. And it is separate from virtual desktop, just separate the disk. your virtual desktop is safe. Here's the slide which is sharing um, supported OS and licensing. So it is important why I colored same left and right to explain that if you are going to use Windows 10 Enterprise multi-session or Windows 10 Enterprise, then you need any of these licenses on the right hand side. Um, Maybe the on-prem licenses will not work with that because you need a multi-session license. Then Windows 7 supports, again, you need that's on the right hand side, those licenses. And if you are going to deploy a server operating system, that can work with your RDS CAL licenses, which you bought from software assurance. This is separate. This is important to know. Software assurance will add more cost on those licenses, and that's why they are bought from the software assurance, and that's why you have to use that gives the Azure deployment benefits. This is on the licensing piece. Now, supported remote desktop clients, Windows desktop client. Remember this icon. This is um, this is the icon which remote desktop comes with. So when you deploy, you have to install this particular app, not any other app. You can use web, you can use Mac OS, you can use it in Mac OS, you can use iOS, Android. That's why I said in Google, I think it works, but I've not tested. Um, in Apple devices, it is important that you don't log in same way as Windows devices. So on Windows devices, you use Windows user principal name. Um, it's supposed to be R here. Sorry, I missed that. Um, but in Apple devices, you will use this URL to get the feed discovery, and then you will log in to the Apple devices remote desktop. And then let's jump into the uh, demo session, and then we'll go for rest of the slides. But let's just fix this and say, okay. So what I'm going to be trying to cover in the remote desktop, this is my icon. You see that? This is the icon. This is my remote desktop. Um, First, I'll log in. I'm just gonna use my um, Azure Virtual Desktop. This is my pool user 01. So if I have logged in somewhere, it will take my session and bring it here and adds it here. I just double click on it. It gives me pop up with the user ID and password. User ID picked it already. And now it will log in. Well, this is just ready. A lot of, you can see the software installed and everything. One thing I would like to show and highlight is it is logged in to my OneDrive automatically. I logged in, it logged into my OneDrive, and we have configured a redirection. So my downloads, my desktop, my documents, everything goes to my OneDrive. Um, this is my documents. See, the same thing. Um, Desktop, pictures. Um, so all of that goes to my OneDrive. Um, that was one thing to demo. Second thing, I think, want to show that Teams is ready and ready to use. I've logged in. I have my devices. I will show it came through in just a second. The settings, and you can see my camera is picking up, and it's picking up my audio devices and everything. It's on WVD. Let me try to make a call and see if uh, anyone available in my office, they can pick up the phone call, and uh, maybe this might have some issues because I'm already on a call. Um, Okay, let's see if Ajit picks up. Hi Ajit, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, that's awesome. This was just a testing for my session, just to show everyone that how it works. And want to thank you for picking up my call. And I'm going to be coming out of this. Thanks. Bye.
Sure, thank you.
All right. I'm not sure if you were able to hear Ajit, but I went into that call and just came. I'm going to be, I think I came
Yes, we
back.
heard the voice of Ajit. Yeah, it's very
Okay.
good.
And share is still working, right?
Yes,
That's
everything was working, and few people are asking questions as well.
Yeah,
So
I'll switch to questions, I think, towards the end.
yes,
This
yes, yes. You can switch towards and yeah.
Now I'm gonna be trying to connect from my um, iPad to see if I can connect and share my session. And then third option I'll do is I'll try to share from my iPhone to show that how it works from there. Um, Teams. Okay, I'm in my team, my iPad. Gonna be sharing. Okay, can you guys see my session? iPad.
Yes, we can.
Okay, still see, right? Uh,
Yes,
Okay, so this is the workspace looks like, right? This is the same app which I have on my iPad, and I just added this um, just before the meeting, so you guys can see it's added here. I'm gonna just click on plus sign and add another workspace, and um, look to give a control V there. Oh yeah, that's another thing which works here. Um, or I think not the not the control V, but the paste. Okay, I think I copied the URL from here. Okay, it said that's already there, so I have to. Uh, I have to unsubscribe, and sometimes it's not that easy. Not here. Okay, never mind. I'll show that in the in my iPhone. But more important is if I can log in here and show that same behavior. So I'm back in the same WVD, and now I'm looking to see where's my teams, so that I can call Ajit again. Ajit, I called earlier. I'm not sure if he's going to pick up now. Looks like he's gone. So I don't know, but it's the experience I was trying to share that you log into Windows device earlier. I logged in, and this time I log into Apple device, and it's still working. And Ajit, can you still hear me? Probably I don't have a voice. Okay, so the point was that it connects and displays. Probably I'm adding in multiple audios. That's why I cannot hear him, but it just adds everything. I can just turn on probably the video. Ajit, can you hear me? Okay, that probably just a device because I didn't share that. I'm going to stop sharing from there, and I'm going to try to share from my um, iPhone just to share. And the experience, you're stuck somewhere. You can still try to log in somewhere using your phone. That's, I think, it's important. Uh, okay, do you guys see my screen on my phone?
Yes, we can.
See, the RD client is here. I go here, and if I try to um, add a um, workspace URL I have to add. So it is simple. Go and say iOS RD client uh, URL. Getting started with iOS comes and storage. Set up the PC. It should show here. Here's the URL. Okay, there's extra dot. It finds that. It's a next. Next is setting up, asking my login. So I have to see, oh, I have a login here. No, I don't have a login here. I can say pickup. Yeah, say PU is pool user. Let's see, on golden5.com. All right, all right. I got a code.
So, hello, Prabhat. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have 8 minutes left, and so we need to jump on another session after the 8 minutes. Just want to remind you.
Yeah, I'll should be fast. It should be just done. 526012. 526012. And if there'll be questions, I'll start giving the answer in the chat. Um, so see, this is the throughout the different three devices. The session looks similar. I just gonna click on as might ask the password again. It will give us the same experience. Um, I think people want to see how it looks in the phone, right? So it automatically switches this horizontal mode, and I'm in the same session I got. This is the same Teams which was logged in there, and it's showing up there. Quickly ending that and stopping the share, going back to my Windows laptop. I'm gonna share from there again. Um, oh, do you guys still see my share? I guess you do. Can anyone confirm?
No.
No? Okay. Stopped sharing. It should be sharing now. Can you guys see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we
Yes.
can. Yeah.
Okay, next few slides very quickly we'll move. Not much to add up there, but I hope you guys like my session. If anyone wants to use the our WVD, my company's WVD, it's very cheap to $25 per user per month. I'm offering everyone discounts who have a who has a company in US and supporting there. I'm giving 10% discount for everyone who wants to buy licenses there. Um, if you want to connect with me and follow me, there are multiple places you can follow me, join me. Primarily, we are very focused in this Facebook group, Global M65. If you want to join, you can just come up, share your issues, or if you want to learn, there's a lot of other people who are sharing their knowledge there. You guys can follow that and learn as well. This is my YouTube channel. You can learn also there. These are my other groups in LinkedIn and other meetup groups. Um, being said that, we can move to the questions, but before we go to the questions, I want to thank everyone. So, dhanyavad everyone for joining me, and go back to the questions. So I'm gonna floor is open for next 5 minutes to go ahead with the questions, and I can start looking into the chat now and see from the beginning.